Hi guys, episode 95. It is WRME Live, and then welcome. Wow. It is actually a beautiful day when we're recording this.
It should be tomorrow too.
It should be on Friday. We are recording. We're going to be doing a few more recordings over the summer because, well, real estate's just picking up.
Yes.
And we still want to do WRME Live, but we also got to make sure our clients are being taken care of. So Thursday afternoons, we will occasionally be pre-recording, so we still have something for Friday. We're going to try our best to still do live, but this way we can still have something.
Right, that way you guys aren't missing us too much.
Yeah, no one misses me. They think you're adorable.
Oh, right. So you can.
I'm prettier than Carl.
Carl's out, so he's out doing real estate, running around.
Oh, yes.
And he's going to be busy tomorrow, so myself and Christine are recording today because I'll be out and about tomorrow, too.
And me.
So.
But real estate, I'm glad it's really moving. A lot of our agents are starting to get a little bit more traffic going their way. Yes. Open houses are doing a little bit better, so it's wonderful that the market's picking up. But that does kind of open up some interesting questions. Like, how flexible do you need to be during all of this?
Yes.
Everyone knows that realtors pretty much, I hope you guys know that realtors pretty much work all the time. But when it comes to buying and selling, you also have to be flexible too. I think we've gone over buyers needing to be flexible because of inspections and all that.
So, yeah, that time period we talked about many episodes ago about those time for inspections, and you have X amount of days to do your inspection, X amount of days to negotiate repairs. We're going to talk about the seller side of that.
There's more than just letting them into your house to do a showing and working around the chaos that showings can be. Now that your house is under contract, you still have to be flexible because inspections and all that stuff that involves it generally has to be done very quickly after it's signed. I think the average duration after it's signed is 10 to 14 days to get all of the inspections done and get the TRR, which is the treatment, repair, and replacements form, filled out and sent off. Yes. Now, you can change that on the form. We're not going to go over that. I'm just saying the usual ballpark is 10 days after it's signed. And it can be a little bit hard for some sellers to embrace that, oh, I'm done doing showings. I don't have to let anyone in my house ever again.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. We are going to have to do inspections, and we're going to have to find time to do it because most inspections are a couple hours. And the more house or the more in-depth, some inspectors will do mold tests if the buyer wants, or I think it's a thermal to see how it is if there's moisture in the walls, and that can add time. Yes. So some sellers it takes a little bit more to realize that there may be an entire day that you can't go home. Most people, they have a regular job or they have other things to do that they can okay, Thursday I run errands. Can we schedule it for Thursday? But for some people, it's super inconvenient to not be able to immediately go home.
Right, and sometimes they have to be done on weekends or evenings.
Mm-hmm.
So, and keep in mind if you're selling your house that the buyers are also working with the home inspector's schedule. Mm-hmm. So if the home inspector says, I can do this week and I can do Thursday morning or Saturday afternoon, then that's what they got to work with.
And some inspectors will work weekends and Sundays, there's a couple out there that will do holidays for a small fee. And so as a seller, if you know that you cannot do weekends are completely out, just let your agent know, and hopefully they'll do their job. If they're any of our agents, they will, and let the buying agent know, cannot do weekends for inspections, and hopefully the listing agent will have gone, okay, can't do Saturdays, what day of the week works best for you? And we try and find a balance between what you need and what the buyer has to do.
But sometimes you gotta accommodate. Because if sellers or buyers can't take off work or they, their schedule. So you got to find that happy medium sometimes so everything can be done.
Yes. And so it's going to be some compromise, and it's all going to be for the better because the sooner the inspections get done, the sooner the appraisal can occur. And if everything works out to your favor, you can close earlier if you want. Or at the very least, keep on track for closing at your already scheduled time. Last thing you want is to be postponing these things because of life happening and whatnot. And then you have to postpone your closing, which can hinder your buying your next house or moving out of state or having to pay another mortgage payment. And so a little bit of flexibility and finding a middle ground to get this house sold like you want. And so that's why we're going to be like, okay, we've got to figure something out. And if you know in advance that you got family coming into town or you cannot do Thursdays, let your agent know. And we'll do our best to work with the buyer's agent and find that happy middle as best as we can. And sometimes there's just not a happy middle, and we just do our best. But fortunately, that's not very often, but it does occur. Oh, goodness. That was a lot of talking. Okay, so do you know why we have to do inspections so quickly after we get a contract?
Oh, I don't always. I mean, I got one right now with 30-day inspection period.
Whoa.
It just depends, really.
Yeah, it really does.
On the length of your closing day. So if you have a 45-day close, then yes, you want your inspections done sooner so the appraiser can get in there and hopefully you can catch anything they might deem need repaired.
But generally,
yes.
The reason we do inspections so early is so we can find out if any repairs that are required for the loan and try and get them done before the appraisal. Doesn't always work out that way, but it is ideal to try and get all those repairs required for like an FHA loan, flaking paint, loose siding, things like that, loose shingles. It's better to find out about it now, so you only have to pay that one appraisal fee and not have to pay a secondary appraisal fee so the appraiser comes out and verifies that those repairs have been done.
And sometimes even if you do that, the appraiser could come back and catch something that you or the home inspector or your agent didn't catch. So that's not...
And of course, I had my phone on silent, but my alarm to go pick up my daughter just goes off anyways. Thank you, phone, for reminding me that I have to be a parent.
So sometimes we don't always catch it. Or they might see something we don't realize, because each loan might have different requirements. USDA might have something that an FHA doesn't, or conventional. Their minimum loan requirements will vary from each loan to another.
And in some cases, like conventional loans, some of those fall into depending on the lender. FHA's got federal guidelines. Some conventional loans can actually be very, very different between Bank A and Bank B. So, for instance, if you can do 6% down with this bank, does not guarantee you can do 6% down with that bank. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's a lower credit score. You just can't assume that it's identical as far as conventional loans are concerned. FHA's got some pretty... You can look up the rules on the internet on FHA guidelines and the flaking paint, blah, blah. And so you can kind of have an idea there.
But even then, we're not the lenders. The home inspectors aren't the lenders, so we don't know every little single. We try to stay on top of stuff like that, but we always get something.
And a good home inspector will do their best just to give you that laundry list. A good home inspector won't bring down terror and doom and gloom. This house is going to fall apart. They go... This is broken. This needs repair. This is not in its best. This could be more economical or efficient. And so that's their job to tell you all those things. So you can be like, okay, I really don't care if the sink is not high efficient, but thank you for letting me know that it is not. And I will go to Lowe's in 4 years and fix it when I feel like it.
And you might not care that an outlet isn't up to standards, but we might need it taken care of because the appraiser will care, because that could be a safety issue.
Most common one is the GFCI, which I can't remember the technical terms for it.
3 feet. If it's
within a certain range of water, you have to have a GFCI.
Or outside.
Because, water. Rain happens.
Yeah.
And so it's good for a home inspector to find that. The homeowner can get it swapped out reasonably priced, whether they pay a professional or do it themselves. And that way, it passes along. They find out before the appraisal gets there. Woohoo! Save money. Appraisals aren't cheap. Okay. I can talk forever. But I go, yes, I can. Want to test this theory? No, let's not. Please no. I want to sleep sometime. Okay. Erin, you had something to say before I...
So I was going to say, if you guys have any questions or comments or want to chit-chat.
Oh, yes,
post
please
below,
comment.
we'll reply or we'll private message you, and we'll be happy to speak with you over the phone or
shoot
email
us
or
an
whatever.
email or message us. We try and stay connected with y'all and answer any questions, or if you guys have any topics. Like, I think homestead exemption was from Carl talking to somebody, and so he made a whole video about it. It's one of our best, if I recall correctly. And as far as popularity and actually answering some serious questions y'all had. So just let us know. We'll happily cover them.
We tend to run across the same questions all the time, so it helps if we get new questions or somebody's came across something else they've dealt with. We're happy to talk about that because that could educate other people.
And we love researching. We know a ton of stuff about this, but sometimes there's a new one, like all that homestead stuff.
Yep.
Carl knew it. I had to do some digging. And pretty awesome. It's a really handy thing to know.
Yep.
Okay. Y'all have a great weekend, and we hope to see you next week.
Yes.
And let's see. Weichert Realtors Main Edge, where we do real life, real world real estate every day.
Bye.
Bye, guys.